Hello and welcome back to the channel and welcome to day 19 of my Christmas countdown. I'm back in the, what do you call the retro, more retro jumper that I have. And I'll be honest, it's getting tighter every day. I think the mince pies are starting to take a toll. But yeah, there's a reason for this. This retro-ish jumper is for what I can only describe as a pretty retro-ish beer. Let's find out what is behind door number 19. There we have it then from LHG Brew Pub, a dark mild. Now, I'm pretty confident in saying I've not had a mild on the channel before. I think I've only had one or two ever. It's a style I'm quite interested in. It's simply just a bit old-fashioned. No one really makes it anymore. But LHG have gone the extra mile for the mild and produced a 4% dark mild, simply called dark mild. So yeah, pretty excited for this one. LHG, I think, are in or around Bristol. I bought this from my good friend Sam, who's been on the channel a few times before, most recently in voice form only on a live a few weeks ago, replacing Dictionary Corner. That's a reference that you just have to get involved with a live to understand that one. But yes, he has made a visit recently. But he bought me this along with a load of other beers from the Bristol area when he moved there early this year. I think this is the last one left, to be honest. So I thought only right to introduce it in the Christmas countdown to round out the year. Enough talking, let's get on with it. Here is a quick look at the can. Pretty snazzy artwork, I think you'll agree, for a pretty old school beer. It's pretty nice looking, bit funky, bit of info on the back there, but yeah, nice. What you consider, say, modern craft can styling. Going for the blue monkey glass today because I've not seen it show up for far too long. I mean, it looks like brown beer, doesn't it? And well, there we have it then, a properly kind of dark brown, nutty beer. I mean, mild is really one of the oldest of the old. I'll remove the dog hair that's just lined the inside of that glass. And it had quite a punchy aroma as I kind of brought it across. It's, I'm not sure of what, it was more just of old pubs, I guess. But yeah, I think this is going to be a bit of a nostalgia hit. That head is dissipated massively. It was a decent looking off-white kind of 1.5 finger, but we're now down to a touch less than half. It really is thinning out. Only 4% this. Body doesn't look like it's going to be ever so thick, which is, to be honest, I guess true to form for the style, if you like. But yeah, interesting. But anyway, firstly, aromas. So it has that slightly old pub backroom snug kind of a bit of yeast, bit of malt, nothing too exciting quality to it, but there's a real nice caramel hit to this. Dark, sweet, not spicy, but yeah, I think it's going to be a good amount of sweetness to round this out based on what's on the nose. It'll be interesting to see if it comes true in the flavour. Yeah, just a bit of deep, dark bonfire toffee. That's really the only other thing other than, you know, it does smell like very stereotypical British malts, those kind of Fuggles generic British hops. Whether it is Fuggles or not, I don't know, but you know the sort that I mean. Right, let's go on with it. Cheers. Merry Christmas. Now then, I think it's time for me to adjust my jumper, sit back in a comfy chair, enjoy a roaring fire that doesn't exist in this room, or in this house, to be fair. I would very much like a pint of this on a freezing cold night in a little pub snug room. It's beautifully old school, but it has just a few extra clicks, if you like. It hasn't got that maybe slightly farty tendency that I talk about something in kind of old school ales. It's very clean, actually. It's remarkably clean on the finish, and it tastes, well, like it's, yeah, just like they've taken extra due care not to have any bits in it, which I know is a fashionable thing now, but actually this style of beer, once you get bits in it, it starts to become a bit of a headache material. Right now it's clean, it's concise, it's well executed, it's refined is the word I'm looking for, and not just physically. I mean, it's on the palate as well. It is a very refined beer for such a style, I guess, and that caramel note just flows through, sweetens the whole deal off, and it's not quite a sweet treat, but it just offsets the bitterness slightly, and it's, yeah, a bit of a caramel sugary edge, but at the same time leaves your mouth feeling, yeah, relatively fresh. Interesting. Right then, top to bottom taste test, because I feel like I'm blabbing on and not being super accurate with my description, so let's get into this and really concentrate. So, initially, very, very light carbonation. A little bit bitter on the front of the tongue. That steps into a bit of more hop bitterness. It's not intense though, it's mild. Slightly those kind of green hop flavours, but they're really dialed back, really not much used. And the malt starts to enter, but it's not super, I guess, impactful at that point. As it gets to the back of the mouth, it starts to get very refreshing, it starts to thin out, it starts to feel like, this is definitely beer, but it's not a thick, syrupy, boozy disaster of my night. It's quite a, you could have that and go, I feel re-energised and could do something else now. That quickly fades though, after the swallow, and you're left with masses and masses of quite complex malt flavour, to be honest. Is it complex? No, I don't think it is. I'm going to retract that. It's not complex malt flavour. It's just straight up, and it's concise, and it's there, but it's got a bit of, I don't know, just thinking about all the cereals in the world and how you can describe it. It's got a bit of a wheaty, dried wheat element to it. It's that caramel's very much there, a bit of kind of that darker bonfire toffee, but it's not super sweet. It's quite dry, quite savoury, considering it has those taste notes. I must say though, I do need to go back a little bit in the kind of the process and say, just before those real more savoury aftertaste, there is a bit of a sweetness explosion just kind of post swallow that really just gives an extra dimension to this beer. I'm really enjoying it, I have to say. It's old school. It's not really like much else that I've really done on the channel so far. So, but I thought I'd like this, and turns out I do. So let's take a look at the can. So LHG Brewpub Dark Mild. So dark mild, 4% ABV. At our brewpub, we specialise in unfiltered lagers and crisp sessionable beers. Well, say if it's unfiltered, it feels pretty filtered to me. It says, unassuming and quaffable, mild ale accounted for 75% of all beer produced in Britain following the Second World War. Our brewpub is situated on a historic brewing site within Bristol. Founded in 1788 with production of mild dating back as far as 1867. This traditional dark mild is mellow and easy drinking with characterful dark malt flavours present in the finish. Contains malted barley and oats. Store cold, drink fresh, vegan friendly, please recycle. LHG, really like this, really like this. You could sit there of an evening and get through quite a few of these, and actually I don't think you'd feel too bad in the morning either. Yeah, solid winter beer for sure. And to be honest, in this slightly crazed Christmas countdown of 10% super imperials, triple hopped madness and everything else, just to sit back and be able to enjoy something a little less intense, I've really, really enjoyed it. And that is all I have to say about it. So as always, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. If you haven't already subscribed, if you would be so kind. And I will catch you tomorrow for day 20? 20? I think it's 20. Cheers.